Hi, and welcome back to Medically Assisted CBD with Charlie Piermarini. We got a special guest today. One of our sponsored athletes, Anthony Bucardo, otherwise known as Young Shibby, is on today. He really wanted to come on and talk about how he uses CBD for his recovery and for his training. He's a professional BMX athlete, and he's been really taking his training and his diet and exercise to a whole nother level during the quarantine. So I really like to talk to him and have him help get the message out about CBD. So welcome to the show, Anthony. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. Just chilling on my rest day. Just excited to be on this podcast and let more people know about CBD and how it helps me while I'm training hard. So
Yeah. So you got some big news, man. We were just talking. You went up a class in BMX. So talk about that.
so in BMX there's amateur, there's A pro, and there's double A pro, and then there's vet pro, like when you're a little bit older, and then there's women's pro, blah blah blah. But so yeah, last year I was an A pro, and I had a really good season. I had I think 2 or 3 wins, and then rest were all podiums. I just kind of struggled to get on the top of the box a lot, but it's all consistent, which was really good. And then I ended off the year with rookie pro of the year, and it kind of really just set the bar to where I had some good just results and then some good hype, and it helped me get on a new sponsor, which is Haro, which is a really big brand. And then yeah, just kind of this year started off just kind of slow with just like new bike, new things, new everything. So just kind of was a little weird in the beginning, and then we had this COVID situation, and then I kind of just buckled down on everything I needed to, like struggles that I seen before, and just hit it really hard during this whole time. And now I'm just waiting to race. And other than that, that's just really it. I moved up to double A this year, and I'm just waiting to start my double A career. Really.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you and I have been talking about. You really are trying to make your training. You're a professional athlete, so you're really trying to take it serious. So I'm assuming I've been watching your workouts on Instagram. You've been crushing it, and so when you're done working out, and kind of talk about how you use CBD as part of like your recovery, and what do you use it for? Like, what helps you?
So when I wake up, I usually like to do either the droppers, or if I'm feeling like I got a little sweet tooth, I definitely will take one of the gummies instead. So I
Yeah.
start off my day with either a daytime gummy or a drop. So regardless, I have some CBD in me, and that's just to get the day started. And then I'll go train. I'll do all the stuff I need to do. And sometimes I have a little bit of soreness, like my thumb from when I broke it, or my ankle from
Oh yeah.
skateboarding, or just like injuries from back in the day. So I'll throw on some rub if I need to. So that's either like a during the workout, or if like I'm just super sore after. So that's when I use the rubs. And then once I finish the workout, I don't really take much stuff during the day unless I start hitting, like say if I get anxiety, I'll go take a gummy like the daytime. Or if I'm just feeling like I'm like something feels weird, I'll take a drop. But other than that, just when I go to bed, I definitely take the daytime or the nighttime gummies, my bad. And then, but yeah, like every time I take a nighttime gummy, I pass out in 15, 20 minutes. So like, I definitely love those. And yeah, just throughout the day, I kind of use the daytimes and the droplets, and just, I mean, I just try to spread it out for when I need it rather than just taking the gummies because they taste like candy.
So when you do take them, like, what do you notice? Like, how do you feel high at all? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel, a lot of people think that, CBD is marijuana. And so, trying to just help them understand how you feel as an athlete with it.
So like when I take the droplets, it's more of just like I wouldn't say that's very noticeable, but you definitely can feel like you're relaxed, or like you're not as like your mind's not running all over the place kind of thing. Like your
Yeah.
body's just more like you're just relaxed, and you're kind of just like if you're watching TV, you're kind of just like chilling on the couch, like more of just like enjoying it rather than like sitting there thinking of 30 things. Like that's what I feel like it helps me with, is like my mind doesn't go all over the place. My body doesn't feel as like tense. Like I'm not sitting on the couch like, or my posture's not all messed up. So, I mean, it really just, it makes me feel like relieved, to where like it just helps me balance out from having my anxiety or my pains or just whatever is going on in my head at the moment. It's more of like yeah, it's not really like a high. It's just, it's like a natural like feeling. You just feel
Yeah.
relaxed. Like if you go in the hot tub, like it's like that, but it's
Yeah.
obviously has medical reasons. So it's just hard to describe, but you definitely feel it in the long run, and you'll notice it. But it's not like you take it and you're like, whoa, I feel this, like this is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, how do you think that translates into your training and racing?
Well, dude, I mean, the stuff we do now with training, I mean, I'm in the gym probably 2.5 to 3 hours, and I've added a few more stuff to what I do. So I'm in there a little bit longer. And then the road bike, like everything is just super high intensity, super hard on the body, just, I mean, every single day. So for me, like the rubs where I use that on, like I said, my thumbs, my ankles, those will literally, like, I'll take those before I go to the gym, and during the gym, it won't bother me. So like when I use those, that's mostly for like pains or soreness, or like I said, if I have something that's bothering me.
Yeah.
And then just, I mean, yeah, like the gummies, like I said, those help with anxiety. And like, I mean, I just had like a rough life growing up. So like I have, I mean, a crazy thoughts in my head and like stuff like that. So, I mean, it just really helps me stay relaxed, stay focused on what I need to, and just, I mean, kind of keeps me level. And I mean,
Yeah.
not not too much over, because like you can stress out with the training, so it definitely helps me keep more leveled, like to where I need to be balanced with just, I mean, stress and just everything.
Yeah, you've got the physical part. Obviously, you're very gifted physically. So like now I think you're really trying to get your, your game to the next level. You're
Yeah,
realizing that the psychological side of this game is just huge, right? And so being calm, being cool, being collected when you're on top of the box, ready to race, like that's a big part of this. And so I
no,
think
yeah,
yeah. And so that's why the CBD is hitting on both sides. It's helping you physically for decreasing your soreness and decreasing your pain, but it's also helping you with your anxiety and sleeping better. And sleep is so huge, such a big part of, training. So
yeah.
that's
And
awesome.
that's what the cool thing about those are, is like, it's like weird. It's like I sleep the same, but when I take those gummies, I mean, I obviously go to sleep faster than I normally do, but it feels like when I'm sleeping, I get a deeper sleep. So it'd be like in those 8 hours, it feel like I slept deep for the 8 hours, rather than like 5 hours of this and then turning over for 2 hours. Like I feel like I get a really deep sleep when I sleep. So like that's what I notice with them, is like I feel more rested when I take those, or if I just sleep normal, I'll be like kind of like tired in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Definitely
kind of
with,
just makes me sleep deeper. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah, like endocannabinoid system dysfunction and balancing it with the CBD is a huge part. So I talk to, my patients about, and that's what me and
Yeah.
you kind of, message back and forth about how this stuff actually works. It's not marijuana. Marijuana has THC, which has its medicinal purposes, but the medicinal part, the medical part of the cannabis plant is more than often than not CBD part.
Yeah.
That's the anti-inflammatory. That's the non-psychoactive part of it. That people such as yourself are noticing the decrease in, anxiety and helping with pain and helping with recovery. And I have a stressful job, and I'll take it at bedtime to help sleep because you're thinking about it. All my patients I treat all throughout the day, and
Yeah.
it really does help just kind of turn you off. And you're kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
and it's not like you drank, a bunch of alcohol. You could still function. It's just kind of like a mild, slightly in the background, like you just feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And even like
Yeah.
I gave my grandma, and
Yeah.
she's, I mean, probably almost 80 years old, and she has a bunch of medical problems and stuff. And I got her some of the drops, and it was like I didn't really know much, because obviously I take them for what I take them for and blah blah blah. And so she started taking them, and she was kind of like, "Oh, I don't really feel much." And then like she literally went through the whole bottle, and then she was like, "Whoa, can you give me another one?" Like I feel like, I don't know. I guess it obviously was working. Like I felt a lot better, and then as soon as I stopped taking it, I didn't feel as good. So like that's when I was like, okay, well, this definitely, like, it helps my grandma, and she has a bunch of like medical problems. So that's when I got even more excited into it, just because I was like, well, that's something that's real. Like she goes to the doctor, has a bunch of medication, a bunch of pill, like tries everything, and just for that to make her feel a little bit better or help her was like, okay, like this is something that's really legit. Which, I mean, it could help people, and it already does, and it's going to more when people understand that it's not marijuana, and it's a separate, like you said, anti-inflammatory, all the benefits it has. That's all it really needs to do, is get the message across that it's a separate thing from THC.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people message you, and I talk with a lot of patients, especially the elderly ones, about, is it going to get me high? Is it going to do this?
Yeah.
I have two lines of products. I have the broad spectrum, which we use in isolates. So it's non-detectable THC. You know, to be like 100% safe, I tell people there's a potential that you could have THC, but it most likely won't.
Yeah.
Um, And then I have the full spectrum line, which I think I sent some to Nick, and that has a little THC in it because they all do work together better. You know, the entourage effect is a real thing.
Yeah.
So, um, I just think, you know, I appreciate your support for the company and for the CBD, you know, and overall just of how it's helping you. You're a mouthpiece for my company and for the industry at large, man. I really appreciate having you on.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I love it. And like I said, I really do enjoy taking the products, and I've seen results in me and other people, and it's just a big growing thing. And I mean, like I said, I like to help people. I help kids with coaching, training. So if I can help people with, I mean, just the stuff that actually has facts of helping, then
Yeah.
that's what I want to get across the board and help people. So
What made you kind of, because you said you were with another CBD company before, and
yeah.
you know, like, how do you feel, you know, coming with my medically assisted CBD? Do you feel like it's a little bit of a different company, a different approach?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like it's a different approach. I feel like with the other brand, it was more of like, let's make stuff look cool rather than let's make the product legit. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, this bottle looks cool, so I want that bottle. But then I tried, I'm like, dude, it didn't even, like, that was lotion. I could have bought that at the store. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some companies, and what I learned is a lot of those companies will put a high milligram. And then I've seen at one shop I went to go visit, they were like, I was like, so which the best one? They're like, well, these are all just legit because we found out a bunch of the companies would put like 1,000 milligrams and we would test them and it'd be like 200 or
Yep.
100.
Yep.
So then like, I was like, okay. And then when we went to your shop and I was getting a B12 shot, and then I looked up on the board and I kind of saw like it was more medical and you were a doctor and everything was legit. And then like we just talked and I started taking them, and I mean, I definitely felt like it was legit just because you could tell that you're putting more into the product rather than making something look cool or
Yeah.
making yours look like the coolest out there. You're
Yeah.
actually putting together solid products, solid, just, I mean, foundation of everything. So
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely feel a difference just because I know, that's the thing, is like, I know it's truly CBD and I believe that you're doing what you can to make it the best. So that's what makes me like believe in it more rather than just like, hey, this dude, I never even met the dude that owns that company. So like, I don't even know if he's like what this dude is about. Like he could
Yeah.
be some business dude that has millions that didn't care, that just told someone to make this brand. So it's like
Right.
knowing you personally and seeing all the stuff you do, and then obviously taking it myself. I mean, it definitely has, I mean, I think a better approach than when I just would randomly take some stuff.
Yeah, man, that's important. You know, the whole CBD industry, as a medical professional and a CBD brand owner, you know, I'm always daily fighting against patients bringing in bottles that are mislabeled. They say there's no
Yep.
THC on it. Then I flip it over and it says it's full spectrum and it has THC. And then they're in trouble because you know, their urine's positive for THC. It's a mess, and the industry is cleaning itself up, but it's going to take a while. And, you know, having, you know, athletes like you that have a stage that promote the proper use of good company of CBD, like that's a big part of all this, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And just like I
Yeah.
said, I like to keep it real. And I
Yeah.
mean, I physically have seen results and people I know have. And like I said, my grandma was the most like legit one, to where my
Yeah.
grandma will tell you straight up, like, dude, this is stupid. Like, this is not like, but like, she literally was like, hey, I ran out of that and I feel different. Like, can I please get another? So that's when
Yep.
I really was like, okay, like, if my grandma, like, she'll tell you straight up, like, if my bike was ugly, like, your bike looks like shit. And I'd be like my biggest sponsor. And I'd be like, what do you mean? So like for
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay, well, like it can really help people, especially like I said, I mean, I knew somebody from when I was at that trip when I met you, that guy
Yeah.
from the CBD,
Yeah.
and he was like, he used to take, he said like 25 pills every morning, and now all he does take is CBD, and that, like, he could sleep better, his
Yeah.
life is different. Like, it's crazy when you just like do research on it rather than like, hey, have you tried CBD? Nah, that's THC. Like, but if you go look up on the internet or read a book or you read something about CBD, you can understand, and then you'll be like, whoa, like I had the totally wrong image about
Yeah.
that. Like that could have helped me. Like I was having trouble sleeping, but I thought it was THC. Now I tried it and I love CBD. Like I should have just read something before. You know what I mean? That's what it's
Yep.
gonna be like in the future. Is people are gonna see and then be like, dude, I've been struggling with that for 5 years. Like that could have helped me. And then it's like,
Yep.
oh, I should have just read some. So it's just going to be like one of those where like, oh, I wish I would have known that.
People need to get educated, and it sounds like your grandma is the real OG, man.
I mean, like I said, she told me straight up. So that's when I was like, all right.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you hopping on here, dude. I know today's your rest day and you were just doing some skating and just chilling and getting your
Yep, yep.
calorie count in. Anything else you want to add?
Just like I said, if more people have questions about the CBD, reach out to me or you,
Yep.
or if they want to, like try some of the products. Like if they live close near me, they could
Yep.
come and I'll give them a gummy or I'll give them some whatever. But yeah, other than that, I hope people just get educated more of the fact of that it's not THC and it's a really helpful thing for some people. And
Yeah.
even athletes, like especially athletes train. Like I said, like an NFL athlete, he's in the gym and hitting each other all day in
Yep.
practice. So like when you go to bed, obviously his shoulder's going to be, so it's just like, there's just
Yeah.
so many benefits and I can't wait till people understand that and know.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be it's going to take over the world.
Yeah. Then the next level is I'm working with a pharmaceutical company where they have CBD in pharmacy grade now too.
No way.
Yeah. It's tablets.
See,
Like,
that will
yeah.
be, that's a game changer then, just
Yep.
because that's where I feel like they're kind of not promoting it because they don't want it to take over the pharmacy game, which I
Yeah.
think it could. And
It's going
that's
to.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because it's all natural. Like
Yep.
why would you not want to take something that's all natural than something that's built, pressed, and made by somebody?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'll let you get back to your rest day. And it's always a pleasure, dude. And I'll catch you on Instagram with all of your crazy videos.
yes, sir. Thank you. And shout out Restorative CBD.
Yeah, buddy. Take it easy.
Thank you. You too.